dog.
Your mother ate my dog.
Dun dun.
Oh, I didn't realize we had started already. Hey everybody.
Hey guys, that's awkward.
Josh and Jesse back for another episode 55. The big 55s, I think. I didn't double check that, but I think it is. Yeah, the big 55.
Sounds right. Feels right.
Feeling pretty good here on this April evening.
Me as well. I'm feeling great. I just finished having a bath. Feeling squeaky clean.
Okay, well, then we might as well just get into it. Actually, first, before we do it, I guess we gotta do other stuff.
Okay, let's do it.
I have another installment of scam emails.
Oh, that's
This
wonderful.
one's very short though.
Okay, well, they were concise.
Yeah, so over in the past, over the last, probably 20 episodes, there have been some instances of older ladies, mostly British. At least they say they're British, but really they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Who've been trying to give me money. This one is a little different. It comes to me from a person named Marzell.
Okay.
And it just says, the email title is called re, and then the call in, and then there's bracket 8 end bracket space hello, and then the email starts with hello again.
Mm-hmm.
200 million email addresses at a very low price. Our contact, and they give me their email, which is new.business, which is misspelled, .year@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, it says to unsubscribe, send us an email with the subject unsubscribe.
Right. That seems like a good way to unsubscribe.
So I now have 200 million email addresses.
Right. And how much did it cost you?
$100,000.
Well, that is a steal.
This podcast is doing really well.
Yeah, that's what to say. That's 200,000 Spotify accounts you can create, and we're off to the races now.
So I assume people would use the 200 million email addresses to do exactly what Marzell's doing. Just spam.
Yeah, it's a pyramid email scam where the end result is just an endless, expanse of emails.
But what happens if I unsubscribe?
It's a very risky system. If one person unsubscribes, it's all over. Yeah.
All right.
I've been through this before many a time.
Maybe you're Marzell.
Well, it would be a bad idea for me to reveal that information, so I'm not going to confirm or deny such things.
And that concludes the scam email segment. We do have a kind of an ongoing segment we do as well, which is kind of Jesse led. As in, you just
Right.
asked me, have you seen any movies in the past week?
Right.
So, Jesse,
Non-podcast.
Have you seen any movies?
No. I did not get into the movie watching mood this past week.
I've also not seen any movies. So that concludes the movie of the week segment.
It's a short one.
Yeah, that's good.
I was gonna watch a movie, and then I decided against it. I was gonna watch. Well, here's the thing. I'd say about a year ago, I watched the first half of The Irishman,
Mm.
and then the other day I was like, maybe I'll finish it, and then I couldn't remember what part I got to, and so then I was like, well, I'm gonna have to watch it again. And of course, it's like a 3.5 hour long movie, and it just felt a little daunting, so I just didn't start it at all.
That's fair. Who has that kind of time?
Yeah, nobody.
I've been watching a lot of TV.
Oh yeah, what you been watching?
The Netflix show Beef.
Oh yes, that's got Stephen Yoon in it, right?
You mean Glenn? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Glenn. Yeah.
I haven't finished it yet, but it's pretty good so far.
Okay, what's that about?
It starts with Stephen Yoon and Ali Wong. They get into some sort of road rage incident. Somebody like so. Steven's character's name is Danny,
Mm-hmm.
and he's at like a home like a home store, like a Target kind of store, and he's about to back out of his spot, and then Ali Wong, her character's name is Amy. She is driving by and almost gets like backed into, and then they have some sort of like road rage incident that leads it spirals out of control, and then things happen.
Hmm. Okay. So when I saw the title beef, I thought it must have had to do with cows, but I'm wrong.
No cows, yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting. What's that on?
Netflix.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so um, that's that segment. The next thing I want to talk about is we watched Snowpiercer a little while ago,
Yeah.
and in that episode of our podcast, I think it was that one or even the one before, but I introduced the AI ChatGPT, and it gave a score of the
Mm-hmm.
movie, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't do that for the last movie, which was The Craft. We watched. You gave it a 4. I gave it a 6 for a mid score of 5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked ChatGPT if they could score it out of 10. What do you think ChatGPT gave it based on popular opinions?
So it did in fact give you a score.
Yeah, so I asked, could you provide a brief review of the 1996 film The Craft and score it a 10? So then it gave
Right.
me a brief review,
Mm-hmm.
and it had some issues with the movie's pacing, the way it handles its themes, and some feeling that ultimately falls short of its potential.
Okay.
Based on that, what do you think I gave out of 10?
It probably gave it a 7.
It gave it exactly 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. I knew it all along. I was ChatGPT isn't real. It's they randomly select real humans to answer people's questions, and it just happened to be me on this one occasion. I was on the shift. You wrote the question in, and I saw it, and I answered it. That's how I knew.
I wrote it about 15 minutes ago.
Yep, exactly. 15 minutes ago, while I was taking my bath.
Um, then I asked them, the movie for this week is called The House.
Yeah.
So I asked them, could you provide a brief review of the 2022 film The House and score it out of 10? And what do you think it told me?
It couldn't give you a review.
Exactly. It could not give me a review because of their knowledge cutoff date is September 2021.
Right. So this was something that you asked it like 14 minutes ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was my second bath time ChatGPT response.
So because it didn't give me an answer for the 2022 film The House, I asked it to provide me a brief review of the 2017 film The House and score that out of 10. So if you don't know, the 2017 film The House stars Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler as a couple. I haven't seen it, but it's a comedy. It's one of those
Uh-huh.
comedies. They gave it a 5 out of 10.
I was actually going to say that, but that I wasn't actually the one who responded to that one. It's just those two. But I was actually going to say 5 out of 10 based off absolutely nothing. Never even heard of that movie. That
Interesting.
that's crazy.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else you want to bring up before we movie it up?
I don't think so. I've seen a lot of Canada Post trucks around lately. Still hasn't been you.
Nope. I'm in Oak Bay. I'm not in wherever you are.
Yeah, but like you probably go by like Foul Bay Road or like not Foul Bay Road.
But I am on Falbay Road. That is okay. Yeah,
Yeah. But like you
lower.
when you get back to the depot, surely you have to drive through downtown or
I go like Pandora Blanchard.
okay. See, I drive down Pandora home every day. So,
But you're off a lot earlier than I am.
well, maybe one of these days you'll have a short day.
I can't have a short day. I have to be at a specific place at a specific time. So the earliest I can be off is 5:30. So
Okay.
I'm driving down. This is gonna for all of our fans out there. I'll be driving down Pandora tomorrow. Whenever you hear this, tomorrow at 5:10 p.m.
Okay. That is
Feel
very
free to
specific.
feel free to wave and honk, and I'll be turning right on Blanchard.
So basically, your days are like, they can be slightly busy or slightly less busy, but usually it's about the same amount of workload. Does that sound about accurate?
Yeah, more times than not, I'm sitting in the truck at like 3:30 on my Switch, wasting time.
What do you play on your Switch?
Right now, it's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh, that's fun.
I just beat Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, there's so much nostalgia in that game. I used to like not do the missions at all and just find ways to get onto the other islands. Which there was ways.
The
Yeah.
game is very easy. San Andreas not so easy, but it's very fun. Anyways,
Right. Anyway.
The House. I presented you a movie that we've not a movie type that we have not yet seen through 55 movies. And that's like a weird stop motion British animated film.
Right. We certainly have not hit that note yet.
So
Well, now we have.
when did you see this movie?
Uh, I finished it probably like an hour and a half ago, I would
Okay.
say.
So I watched this movie probably on Friday.
Okay.
So less fresh in my mind, but I
hmm
will tell you one thing that I remember
Okay.
from the movie, and that
You,
was
you remember one thing from the movie?
the thing that stood out to me the most, and that
Okay.
was it was boring.
Right.
I was bored.
Mm. hmm This is one of those movies where I found myself on my phone for part of it.
I think, I mean, it was soothing, like the voice acting very soothing, the music very soothing,
Yeah.
puts you into a sleep,
Mm.
but like I just couldn't get into it. Through story one, story two, and story three, I was wishing that it would end, which isn't great for a movie.
No, that's not a good sign. No.
Did you have a favorite of the three movie or the three different stories?
No. A favorite? I guess probably the second one. If I were to pick one, I guess, but really all of them were, as you say, pretty boring.
Yeah, I guess the second one was better because it was just weird,
It was very weird. The first one was very weird too. The third one was
first,
definitely the least weird.
but also the worst.
Yes.
Yeah, first and second one, okay, yeah, that's fair. The first one only because I was invested in it because it was the beginning of the movie, so I was paying much more attention to it,
hmm
and it kind of gave off like horror movie vibes,
Yeah.
but it wasn't really a horror movie.
No. And sort of like, even though it was in three parts and each were supposed to be its own standalone thing, although there were some similarities between the three, they all still felt like incomplete, even though they were their own thing. Especially the first two, I guess. Well, I don't know. They're just like, yeah, weren't very satisfying as standalone. I will say about the third one though, it was the most. It was definitely like the most boring. I did like that it was had a different ending. Like it was actually kind of like a happy ending as opposed to the other two. So that was a nice contrast. I was like kind of liked that it was a nice ending.
Because it was the end of the movie.
Yeah, maybe that was it. That's a great point.
Like the stop motion idea was interesting. The
Yeah,
attention to detail they had.
yeah. Especially I found in the second one, it was really weird seeing the stop motion animation of like the characters, but then what was surrounding the character was like very realistic. It was very strange. Especially like what there was a shot with like the cars out front. It just looked like it was real cars and like a real house, but I don't think it was. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
But it was a very interesting contrast. The first one had a lot of had the most potential, I would say. But then it was just kind of like there was no. I wish I had explained a bit more what was the intention of the architect. I guess.
Right.
Yeah, that was it. Wasn't really all that explained. I guess it's just kind of weird. I don't know. And I definitely had a few moments where I'm like, this is just being weird for the sake of being weird. And it
Well,
just,
was it though? I feel like it was pretty. Like they wanted to be pretty serious.
I don't know. The first one felt as though it was just trying to be weird. I mean, it definitely was. I don't know. It's one of the, it's like a little hard to pinpoint exactly what this movie was. Perhaps that's part of its downfall.
Didn't even feel like a movie at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. And then
It
I
was
thought
only an
there
hour and
was,
a half.
yeah, I thought there was going to be a bit more. Like really, the only main thing that was the same between all three was the house. Obviously, that's what it revolves around.
La
Like,
Casa.
yeah, occasionally they used, or actually once they used a same character name. I think what was it, Isabel? Like there was the little girl in the first one, and then there was like a baby rat. I think there were rats. A baby rat in the second one. That's name was Isabel. I was like, oh, there's going to be an Isabel in all three, but there wasn't. So I was like, oh, that's going to be the connection. It's going to be important. But and then I was also trying to for a little while I was putting on my film film studies like lens. It's like, okay, what's like the themes? And I was like, and then I just couldn't really find any. I guess just like the turmoils of owning a house, the stresses of owning a house. That's all I got out of it.
Yeah. Like, what was the point?
And I wasn't really one.
97%
I don't get it.
blew me away.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes can't be trusted. I'm will die on that hill now. I used to use it as a bit of a gauge, and now I just ignore it,
But what did IMDb give it? That one seems 6.8.
which is also I think not right. But maybe we missed something. Is there something we missed?
Mm,
It wasn't like artsy enough. It wasn't very. I don't know if they're. You know, they weren't really going for. I don't know. The first one was pretty dramatic, and then the second one was. I don't know. There isn't much to say, other than it was a bit just a bit of a frustrating experience.
it was somebody's cup of tea, but it wasn't ours.
Yeah, let's say that.
And we did.
Yeah,
Okay, well, this is one of those movies, you know? We take a risk and it doesn't pay off. It makes for bad podcasting.
it does for sure. It was a little hard to articulate how I feel about it. It's just Not good. I don't know.
Did you watch any Black Mirror? Have you watched any Black Mirror in your life?
I have not.
Hmm. Well, much like this, this is British. Black Mirror is British, and it's coming back. Oh, that's all I wanted to say about that.
I did see that there was like a new season coming out. So that on
Yeah.
like Twitter or something, but I wasn't like searching it up. Like, is there going to be another season? It just
Well,
Twitter told me.
Twitter. Crazy what Elon is doing over there.
Oh yeah, crazy stuff going on over there.
Okay. Well, should we just get to our scores and get out of this movie, and then we can talk about your new movie coming out?
Yeah, we can do that. Get this one off our
Okay.
minds.
I apologize to everybody listening.
Yeah, we're just not saying it this time.
Okay. Well, The House. I didn't write down anything for this movie because I wanted to be genuine and
Hmm.
off the cuff.
Hmm.
So, what do we normally start with? Acting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. I'll start with acting. Acting a little bit different this time because it's stop motion film. It's only voice acting. Mia Goth, she is the little girl, not Isabel in the first one. She's like
Yeah.
the only name that I really recognize from the first one, anyways.
Yeah.
Um, she was good British girl.
Good British girl.
I
Hmm.
think the voice acting in this was perfectly fine.
Yeah,
No
I agree.
issues.
I agree.
And perfectly fine means a 7. 7 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, no, I actually did find the voice acting to be pretty good. I mean, I'm trying to think of an instance of like bad voice acting, but I can think of some in like video games, but maybe not so much in movies. But yeah, they portrayed emotion pretty well. Nice to listen to, as you were saying. It was, I guess, soothing. Yeah, for me, I mean, 7 is a good score. Maybe I'd go for like an 8. I mean,
Wow.
I'm finding it's, it's hard for me to think of anything wrong with it. So
Okay. So ending is a little bit different for this one as well. There was 3 endings.
yeah,
You liked the ending of the third one. I guess
yes,
I like the ending of the first one. You, I think I do. I can't remember what happened. Um, and but the I mean the second one it left us with a fun image of rats with a bunch of arms and
yeah,
stuff.
uh huh.
So I'm gonna give it overall the 3 different endings a 6 out of 10.
Okay, yeah. The first one, like the two daughters' parents, they like turn into furniture and then
Yeah.
they escape. That's the end. The second one, yeah, he main character like poisons himself with bug poison and then comes home to a bunch of elderly four-armed rats. And the last one, the house just kind of sails away and it's kind of a happy end. I liked that one. It was because it was kind of like a contrast to everything else, that all the weirdness and stuff. I mean, it was, I guess, a bit weird, but it was a nice change of pace. And yeah, I think 6 sounds about right to me. 6.
Okay, just copying mine. Now
Yeah.
score to 10.
Okay. Do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
You know what? I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll get it over with.
Okay.
So the movie was picked by me. Um, it is. It's a movie that I didn't know anything about coming into it, but it had a high Rotten Tomatoes score, and perhaps that was maybe a red flag. It was beautiful. stop motion. I did a lot of cool things with it. The mist and all that in the third one.
Hmm.
The characters looked great. They moved great. The story itself was mediocre. My expectations were high. It did not meet my expectations. So I'm just going to go right down the middle and say 5 out of 10.
Okay. It
Boring.
was pretty boring, yes. Um, for me, when I think of really good stop motion, I think of the few ones that Wes Anderson has done. Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs. I really, really like Isle of Dogs. It was probably in my top three Wes Anderson films. And that's saying a lot because his films are some of my favorite ever. Um, so I did find myself comparing this to that. So it fell short a little. There was a lot of really nice animation with the actual characters, but not so much going on with like the backgrounds and what was going on around them was a little uninspired, except perhaps the second one with like the bugs and that strange like dance number. That was kind of a cool scene, I guess. Um, yeah, and like you say, it was a bit boring. The story to me was lackluster. It didn't have too much imagination. That, unlike again, say Isle of Dogs, where the story is much more interesting, a lot more going on. There's more characters to relate to, more well-rounded characters, which this didn't really have. Um, yeah, a bit of a letdown, I would say. But I did appreciate the weirdness. There was definitely weirdness, but it just wasn't very cohesive. I'm also giving it a 5 out of 10. I'm not just copying you. That was what I was going to give it.
Thanks for copying me.
You're welcome.
Okay. The House. Wonderful.
Great choice.
Um, it was an hour and a half, but it seemed like it was 3.5 hours long.
It did.
I haven't seen The Irishman, but maybe one day. Okay, well, so you told me last episode that you have your movie picked out.
Yes.
Do you want to share it, or do you just want to give hints and let Greg figure it out?
Um, no, I will share what we're watching. Um, Going to it, something that I don't think we've had enough. Well, maybe not. We haven't had this type of film in our podcast yet. It's an indie film and it came out in the late '90s. Maybe I'll try to give you some hints before and let you guess. Um,
You haven't had a lot of success with late '90s indie films or late '90s films at all, but continue.
I would say that most of the cast um, are indigenous.
We did see Prey.
That is true. That is true. Um, this is more. This is like a. It's described as a coming of age story.
Coming of age. So when you say indie movie, do you mean indigenous movie?
No, it's just called. When I look it up, it says drama/indie film. I'm not really sure what the definition, like what gives you that definition of being an indie film. Low budget, I
Is it
guess.
is it called Smoke Signals?
Yes, Smoke Signals. Have you seen that movie?
Um, I have seen this movie, but it was for school.
Okay.
Um, so you remember when we used to do YouTubes,
Mm-hmm.
living in that house.
Right.
That is when I watched the movie because I remember watching it on my laptop on the couch like late at night for some reason.
Okay.
Let me just tell you that I don't remember much about it, but I do seem to remember that I liked it.
Okay.
So
Well, that's
I
exciting.
think it was entertaining.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Well,
for like a university. What class would that have been? Doesn't matter.
film study class of some kind, or an indigenous studies class.
Yeah, I think it was like an environmental class,
Hmm.
which doesn't make any sense. But
Hmm. Okay.
is it on Prime?
I
Is
don't
it on
know if it.
Crave?
I don't know if it's on anything.
It's probably on Stars.
It
But
says
when I looked it up, it says Crave Premium and then Amazon Premium, which normally means Stars.
right. I know that Pick a Flick has it. I haven't rented from them in a long time, so that might be my next rental. Depends. I mean, I have found lately, like if there's a movie that I want to watch, I just like get it on YouTube. Pay like the $3.99 to watch it on YouTube.
Sure.
I can see if it's on there. Let me see. Smoke Signals movie. It is not on YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll
Great.
have to find your own way, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just go down to the local video store
Yeah, that's the best way
and
to do it.
rent it. They probably have a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay, so we've clearly we're at the point of the podcast right now where we're probably just about to start scores.
Yes, we're a bit ahead.
Bit ahead. Yeah. So I have a game,
Okay, something that's gonna bring
but
bring our mood right up.
well, much like last, where we you know guessed a specific date at the cinema, which I can't remember the name of that game. But this is a little bit different. So you have, I mean, you've seen this game before if you've watched any of Northern Lion stuff, but it has to do with Rotten Tomatoes, one of your favorite websites.
Okay. Yes.
So basically, I give you clues,
Hmm.
and you tell me what movie it is.
Right, and then if I can't get it, you give me a next set of clues. Correct?
Correct, but we'll be working together
Okay. Gotcha.
because I don't know it either.
Okay. Perfect.
So the first clue is that it is a two-word title,
Hmm.
100% audience score. Or no, 100% Rotten Tomato score and 97% audience score, which means nothing.
Right.
It is an action movie.
Okay.
It is 3 hours and 28 minutes long,
What the fuck?
and it came out in 1954.
1954 action movie. That's like basically 100%.
Two words.
Uh,
I wonder if the means, if the counts.
okay. If I were to pick one, it's three. Well, I have a guess, but it's three words. Wages of Fear would be my guess. But then if we're not counting I would say On the Waterfront, but that's not really an action movie.
I
Uh,
think the in the middle of a word probably counts as a word.
okay.
Um,
Do you have any guesses?
no, I've skipped.
Okay.
Well, I guessed the Wages of Fear. It wasn't the Wages of Fear.
Okay.
Clue number two. Desson Thompson from the Washington Post called it the greatest action movie ever made. When he said that, I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know any movies from 54. I mean, we haven't seen any movies from 1954.
Not on the podcast, at least.
Not on the podcast. Yeah. What was Rashomon? It was 50.
Action movies from the 50s.
The Apartment
That's not a bad
is not
guess.
action. Well, it's not an action movie.
I guess not. What about Rear Window?
Oh, Rear Window. It's not Rear Window.
Okay.
Clue number 3 will not help you at all. Somebody from the Village Voice says it's rich in detail, vivid in characterization, leisurely in exposition. This 207-minute epic is bravura filmmaking. Bravura filmmaking.
The Birds? I'm just thinking of Hitchcock right now. Because he was, he did a lot of shit in the 50s, did he not?
It's not The Birds. It's a Kurosawa film, apparently. Kurosawa has loaded his film with unusual and exciting physical incidents that made the whole thing graphic in a hard, realistic Western style.
Okay, okay.
So, what did he do after
I think it's going to be In Dreams.
In Dreams?
I think that's what it's called.
It is not In Dreams.
Maybe I'm thinking, what's it called?
Arguably, Akira Kurosawa's masterpiece is an epic adventure classic with an engrossing story, memorable characters, and stunning action sequences that makes it one of the most influential films ever made. And it gives me a little bit of a movie poster that does nothing for me
Does it have
because I
like
don't know
kind
any
of?
of his movies.
Does it have like kind of like horses on it?
No, it has like a samurai warrior in it. 54. 2 words. It's not In Dreams. One guess remaining.
Um, no, the movie I was thinking of, I thought was called In Dreams. I think it's just called Dreams, which is not going to do us any good because that's one word. So don't guess that. I think that's like one of the only Akira Kurosawa films I can think of right off the bat. There's like, I can't remember what it's called. It's not called like The Ronin. It's like something like that though. There's a name of a movie that like is at the tip of my tongue that I think if you told me it, I would be like, yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. But other than that, I couldn't. I have it in my mind, but I don't know the name of it.
The answer is Seven Samurai.
Hmm. That was not what I was thinking of, if I'm going to be honest.
I mean, I said there's a samurai. It looks like a samurai on the poster, but never heard of it.
We apologize to everyone who was listening that was just kind of yelling at us for not knowing.
I don't know what movie I'm going to do the week after Smoke Signals, but it's not going to be that one.
The movie I was thinking of is called Ron, I think, which is like much later, but that was the one I had in my mind. I don't know, evidently don't know enough Kurosawa films. I guess we saw Rashomon.
Yeah, that's like number 1.
Yep. Dreams and Rashomon were the only two I knew of. Okay, well, we suck.
What was that game you played last time?
Play like the box office game, you mean?
Oh, yeah, box office. I just want to see what the date is for. Oh, November 16th, 2001. That's not going to work.
We can try.
Okay. Well, the first one is a Warner Brothers movie
Okay.
that grossed $90 million in the first week.
In 2001? November 12th, 2001?
November 16th, 2001.
That is definitely the first Harry Potter movie.
Well, I've revealed the actor, and it is Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay.
You don't even need any help. It's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Well done.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Mackenzie, for that one.
She's not even in the room.
The second one is a Walt Disney movie. It's in the third week. It's grossed $156 million overall.
Okay.
Disney. It is animated.
Okay. Can you just
John Goodman.
Okay. I know what that is.
Are you gonna say it or?
Okay, yeah, Monsters Inc.
Oh, what are you? Monsters Inc. 2001, huh?
That's a big movie.
The third one might be a little bit more difficult. It's a 20th Century Fox movie that's grossed $40 million in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow is the first actor. The second actor,
is it Jack Black?
it's Jack Black.
Okay. Shallow Hal it is.
Shallow Hal, 2001.
I think I've seen Shallow Hal. If I recall correctly about that movie, Jack Black insisted that Gwyneth Paltrow be the first billing. I think.
Well, it worked out.
I think they were trying to get him to be first billing. I think he insisted it was her. But maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
I mean, his name is Hal. He should be, but. Okay, the fourth one. You're doing so well. 2001, Paramount Pictures, in its third week, $33 million.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want anything?
The actor?
Do you know it already? John Travolta. Is this going to be Swordfish?
He was in that?
He started Swordfish, yeah. Or what's like the weird one? Battlefield Earth? It's not Swordfish.
You could try Battlefield Earth.
We should watch that for the podcast.
Should we?
It's not Battlefield Earth.
I can't think of any John Travolta films from that era.
Second actor is Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. So it's a comedy then.
Tagline is he will do anything to protect his family. It's a thriller crime mystery.
I have no idea.
Third actor is Matt O'Leary, but I've never heard of Matt O'Leary. Frank Morrison is a divorced father with a 12-year-old son, Danny. His ex-wife, Susan, and his son, Danny, now live with Rick Barnes, Susan's new husband. Danny, who has a reputation for telling lies, accuses his stepfather of committing a murder. Initially, no one believes his accusations, but then Frank becomes convinced and is the only one who believes him. Now the father Danny trusts must protect him from the stepfather he fears.
I have no idea.
I think I've seen this one. So Vince Vaughn must be the evil stepfather.
I guess.
It's called Domestic Disturbance.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Okay. Fifth and last one is a New Line movie.
Okay.
Second week has made only $15 million.
Okay.
It's an action crime drama thriller starring Gene Hackman, Danny DeVito, and Delroy Lindo, who we know from a few movies. It isn't love that makes the world go round. It's the tagline.
I have no idea, Elsa.
Joe Moore has a job he loves. He's a thief. Okay.
What is it?
It's just called Heist.
Heist. Oh, they did that on Welcome to the Basement, actually. They definitely watched that movie. They did not like it.
You did a really good job.
Well, I got 3. I like that Shallow Hal get. I'm happy about that one.
2001 was 22 years ago.
It's crazy.
Gives me a few different ideas though
Oh
for
yeah,
movies.
yeah. I love movies from around the year 2000, as evidenced by my last. I feel like out of my last 10 movies, they're probably like average year is probably right around year 2000. I
Harry
think
Potter was an insane get.
that's not insane. It's like it made so much freaking money, and
Yeah, but
I know the Harry Potter movies come out like in November. They come out always come out late.
hmm. All right. Well, that was fun. You have to donate to get previous games, but
Oh,
I'm okay.
that's fine. We can skip that.
All right, Jesse. Well, don't know if there's anything else you want to spread or
I don't think
speak
so.
on, but
That's crazy that Shallow Hal made that much money in the theaters. Doesn't seem like a movie that you'd go to the theaters to watch.
a comedy.
Like, yeah, but like, I don't know.
That's 2001. Was this? This would have been before School of Rock.
Yeah, School of Rock's probably 2003, if I were to guess.
So what was Jack Black? Like Gwyneth Paltrow, obviously Seven. Other
Yes.
stuff, maybe,
Yeah.
but what would Jack Black been known for? They get that some all that money.
He did High Fidelity, and he also did. He was in Mars Attacks, but not for very long.
Yeah, I guess High Fidelity was the big one.
Which I assume was is before that. High Fidelity seems to me to be like probably a 97, 98 movie, if I were to guess.
It's 2000.
Oh, okay.
He was in the deleted scene in Waterworld.
Oh, well, that's all you need. And now he's in Mandalorian and the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, his the Peach song might be nominated for an Oscar.
Crazy world we're living in.
Have you seen the movie Demolition Man starring Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes?
No, I know of it, but I have not seen it.
He was in that movie, and his role was Wasteland Scrap.
Wasteland Scrap. So he played like a hunk of metal on in the wasteland.
Hard to say. Have you seen Waterworld?
I have not seen Waterworld.
Waterworld might be a movie that we do have to do. Because I haven't seen it either, but I've heard nothing but terrible things about it.
Oh yeah, one of the biggest box office flops of all time.
Okay, yeah, maybe we'll do some Waterworld at some point. Very exciting. So much happening. The future is bright for the podcast that is Your Mother Ate My Dog.
Possibilities are endless, and as always, we really appreciate your continued listening.
I won't be happy until your parents are listening.
I don't see that happening
Do they
really
even
anytime
know?
soon. Yeah, they
Do they
know.
even know you do this?
If it was going to be anyone, it'd probably be my mom. She does a lot of traveling, so she has time for listening to podcasts. Maybe
And
I'll
she
try
chooses
to.
other podcasts over yours?
Um, she probably just listens to music or something. I don't know what she does on planes, to be honest.
Does she have an iPad?
No, but next time I see her, that's what I'll do. I'll ask her, "What do you do on planes?" Well, I got something for you.
55 episodes.
That's a lot of content to catch
Maybe
up on.
skip episode 55.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay. We only do it for 3 people, me, you, and Greg.
And Ben.
Right. 24 people.
Yep.
I mean, there are people more than just because I know you don't listen and I don't listen because we do it, but there's more than just two people who are listening to this podcast.
Hmm.
So obviously, we're doing it for a few more people.
Right. Those are just the people we know that listen to it.
In the past 7 days, 24 people have listened. So,
Just to all the episodes or the latest one?
to any of our episodes of the last 7 days. So that's 24 different people.
Okay. That's something. That's like each person listened to half an episode.
Yeah. 95% of them are men.
Sup, bros?
And more than half of them come from the United States of America.
Right to bear arms, am I right?
So it's 53% US, 33% Canada, and 9% the United Kingdom.
Oi, mate.
I wonder if VPNs have anything to do with that, though.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I think that's about all I got.
Look, we still made it to the sweet time that we normally do.
Yes, sir.
As you're yawning.
Yeah. Woo. It is 4 in the morning right now.
In the United Kingdom, probably. Oh, see what I did there. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back again next week. We'll do smoke signals. Excited about that one. It should be a fun time. If I'm not mistaken, Smoke Signals a Canadian film.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, so much on that. Anyways, everybody, have a nice week. Oh yeah, Idaho. Okay, it's Idaho.
Idaho, not quite Canada.
Close.
Yeah, fairly.
Um. Okay, right.
Okay.
Sorry, you're trying to leave. You're trying to leave.
Yeah.
So
I think I should probably get out of here.
All right. Well.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.